this is Shelly Mae and welcome back to my channel. Time for the January wrap up. I finished 6 books. Actually going to only cover 3 in the video because some were audio and some I've already done a review on. And let's jump right in. First one was Just Mercy, A Story of Justice and Redemption by Bryan Stevenson. I've done a review on this one already. And so if you want to hear more about it, check it out. Gave it 5 stars. Excellent non-fiction work. Children of Blood and Bone by Tomi, Adeyemi. And so I don't know who haven't. Most have probably heard of this one. It's a young adult fantasy. And it was released in 2018. And the sequel was just recently released in December. And so I basically read this one because of the book tube hype. Fantasy is not a genre that I normally read from, as I've mentioned before. But this follows Leigh, which is the main character. And she's working along with Tazane and Princess Amara to bring magic back to Orisha, as a few years back or before a raid happened which killed her mother and took the magic away. And so I like this story. It was action packed from the beginning, from scene to scene. It was something going on. Just wondering what was going to happen next. Also, when I found out the author's notes, and that her thought behind this story was to include fantasy, but also to shine light on police-involved shootings that involve black males. And so that correlation, that's the uniqueness and including the fantasy in a topic that's so important in our society right now. And also Amari, that was my favorite character. She, she left King. I can tell you, Leigh did not make it easy on her, but she stayed the course and she was right there. So I gave it 4 stars. I can't really say why I gave it 4 stars. I just couldn't give it that 5. Just didn't, I don't know, I just couldn't do it. And I think it's because I read the story like over a course of period of time. I read some other stories in between, so I think I lost my focus on it. So I am going to go back and read it again at some point before I read book number 2. Next, Push by Sapphire. This one was released in '96, and it's also has a movie adaptation, Precious, and where Gabrielle City-Babe, I might be saying her last name wrong, played the main character, and Monique played the mom. Push didn't do it for me, y'all. This one did not. Push did not do it for me. So the thing that I did like about it, well, let me tell you what it was about first, if you haven't heard of it. We have Precious, who is 16, and she has 2 children. They are products of being raped by her father. She also is abused by her mother. And while they don't describe it as rape, there was, if I'm interpreting correctly, some sexual interactions between her and her mother as well. And also Precious can't read. And so that's what the story was about. So what I did like was generational curses. I believe that was well addressed by the author, in that when she had her second son, she really, at that point, she was working on her reading skills, and she was really working with her newborn child. As she was learning her ABC, she was teaching them to her child, and she did not want her child to experience what she had experienced during life. And so I think that was well fleshed out. Well, I liked that part. And that was about all that I really liked. So what I disliked, the writing. So as I mentioned, she couldn't read. Okay, so And the way the story, you could get the point that she couldn't read, but I think the author overdid it, the writing style of it, because she wanted us to be in Precious shoes. But I think she kind of overdid it, because at certain points I couldn't even understand the story. It was key facts in the story that I couldn't pull out because I couldn't understand what she was saying. Secondly, so Precious ended up going to an alternative school. She was thrown out of school. She ended up going to an alternative school. And her saving grace is Miss Rain. Don't feel like Miss Rain was the saving grace. I don't feel like for a person, for a child to be going through what Precious was going through, I don't think she should have had to ask for help. And so in the story, you know, Miss Rain ends up helping her, but she had to ask for it. All the other adults that she had interactions with throughout, nobody wanted to help her. And I just don't think that's reality for one child to be going through all this and nobody wants to help her. I just don't want to believe that the world is that cruel. Even if people want to help just for the means of being nosy. Some people they might not be doing it for the right reasons, but they'll do it. So Miss Rain was the saving grace, but Precious had to go to her, and Miss Rain already knew what Precious was going through during journal entries that she was writing in class. And I liked Precious, but I just think that the author put so much on her that it was hard for her to come back from it. It was hard for her to push. I mean, she pushed as much as possible, but she was coming from too much. And at the end, you know, she was able to read a little bit, but that was really all we could see, glean. And I probably just gave the ending, but it really wasn't much of an ending. And so I guess, I mean, some may say it opened us up to those who may not have those same experiences. It allowed us to see someone else. I don't know. I didn't like it. I thought it was okay. I gave it, I don't know if I mentioned, but I gave it 2 stars, if I did. This is another one that I read because of BookTube, because I wouldn't normally read it, but I was seeing the cover everywhere, had to check it out. Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. And at one point I heard different, some say they liked it, some say they didn't, and I had decided I wasn't going to read it. But the whole lifted at the library. I was like, okay, let me just check it out. And you know, if I finish it, if I don't, yeah, I finished it. I enjoyed it. If you haven't heard about it, it follows Alex Stern. She dropped out of school and she got into drugs, hanging with the wrong crowd. But she finds herself in a situation one day. I won't tell you what that situation was. But anyway, that situation opened up an opportunity for her to attend Yale free of charge, but she had to be a part of the Leigh Society, and which Leigh oversees the 8 other societies in school, make sure everybody was doing what they were supposed to. And so we're told the story through her freshman year at Yale, and she told present day from when a certain event happened, and then the other point of view was told from Darlington, and he told like past tense when Alex and him first met. And so I enjoyed how the story was told from those 2 perspectives. I enjoyed that. And this was supposed to be a story of privilege, and she hit the ball out the park with privilege. She well explained that. That was well thought out throughout the story. Alex, again, this is another character who was going to do right no matter where. So here goes my dislikes. There was another person who was a part of the ending. Very integral part of the ending. But we didn't get a lot of details on the person throughout the story. So when it came to them, I'm like, who are they? I only remember them from one part. Also, some of the magic, some of the things that were important to the magic aspects, I don't think they were real explained. So I found myself later when I'm like, oh, I should have known what that meant. I had to go back and try to piece together where it was mentioned that previously in the story. But overall, this was a 4-star read for me. Let me know if y'all check this one out, what your opinion was. It's like I said, I had very opinions on that one. And so I read two other ones, which were audios. Well, so I guess I didn't read. I listened to them. Listen. But I'm going to do a separate audio wrap up at the end of the quarter. One of them was The Forgotten Girl by India Hill Brown. 4 stars. Told y'all I had a good reading month. And then Unashamed, the memoir. This was Lecrae, the Christian rapper. Yeah, that I want to say that was the best memoir that I've read. 5 stars. So I'm going to do a separate review, a video on that one here in the coming weeks. If you made it to this point, that means you enjoyed this video. I'm going to let you in that I'm participating in Blackathon. I've already put my TBR for that. And I also will be participating in the Black Loveathon, which is running from February the 7th through the 14th. And I will be putting my video up with that one later on in the week. So y'all check it out. That's it for now. And I'll talk to you all next time.